understand it. He does something so outlandish, you have to find scripture to back up your experience. He does something so ridiculous that it's your children's children that are still talking about that day when God met mama, that day when daddy fell out in the floor, that day when he prayed and came up different. It's God moments. It is nothing to walk with Jesus and be ordinary. Why live a normal life? Why serve God all your life and still be normal? Why spend 40 years in church, 50, 60, and never change? Why spend your whole life coming to church, come in depressed, leave more depressed? Come in upset, leave fighting in the parking lot. Come in mad and leave cussing. All because we have not been changed. But oh, the power of God is that we would come in one way, but leave another. That God would meet us, and by the power we cannot see, by a voice that audibly we haven't been able to hear, by something tangibly you couldn't touch, yet you feel him. That's the kind of God we're talking about. He does only what he can do, and he only explains himself. Nobody can define God but God. What an awesome God he is. Now we're going to get into the word, and I'm excited, and I'm so glad to see Elder Brooks with us, because we're going to dig more into what we talked about just a couple nights ago. We're going to dig into when God defines the prophetic generation. Defining false prophetic and real prophetic. What does it look like? Because we have a generation now where we've got so much happening and we don't know whether it's God or not. The only way a wolf can be in sheep's clothing is that you don't know what a wolf really looks like. Because if you just study a wolf long enough, you know your legs is a little skinny for a sheep. As Overseer Andrew Spencer said to me, he goes, "Ba woof." You ask a sheep to talk and it don't go ba, but if it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, you hear ba woof. Because what's in you will come out. Some things you don't need to pray about, you don't need to argue about, you just need to wait long enough for them to talk ba woof. You just need to give some folks enough time to show what's really in them. Some stuff you ain't got to bind, you just got to let it run loose long enough to show what's really in you. We're spending so much time trying to discern each other. But scripture says you'll know them by their fruit. You don't have to discern fruit. You just got to let that tree grow long enough, and whatever's hanging on the vine, that's what's in you. That's right. I'm trying to behave for a little bit, but I feel the preach. I feel the preach. And what begins to happen is we who are called by God to understand things that are invisible are moved by what we see so often that we cease being discerning. So we spend hours arguing about people when God already told you you can't trust them. We spend days trying to get counsel. Should I marry him? God showed you he's a snake when you first met him. Why are you trying to marry somebody that God already revealed to you? Going in business with people, he was a thief when you met him. He's still a thief. You think he's going to change because you gave him 10 pounds? He's going to take your money too. Because what's in you will come out of you. There's an old story. I just want to tell you a quick story, and then we're going to get into the word. There's an old story that says, I've told this, I believe, a couple years ago. We were all together. It says that there was a woman crossing the river. And as she was about to cross the river, she was getting ready to wade across, and there was a snake who couldn't make it through the flood. And the snake said to the woman, would you please carry me with you? I can't swim across. And the woman said, oh no, you're a snake, you'll bite me. And the snake said, oh no, I'm a good snake. I wouldn't bite a friend, would I? And so the woman said, if you promise not to bite me, I'll carry you to the other side. And she picked up the snake, and the snake wrapped himself around her neck. And as she was swimming, the snake said, how's your family? And she said, good, how's yours? Oh, they're all just hanging around somewhere. And when they got to the other edge of the water, she got out and she said, you are a good snake. And the snake bit her and dropped off her neck. And she said, but you promised not to bite me. And as the snake was crawling away, he said, yeah, but I'm still a snake. We are making bargains and compromises with things that we are praying to God to change the nature of the thing you've compromised to hold. But it was wicked when you found it, it'll be wicked when it bites you.